Hey everybody, welcome. Today I'm going to tell you how I recently passed the Part 107 test from the FAA to be able to fly my drone commercially. If you have a drone and you want to use it to create an income or for your business, for your videography business, to shoot weddings or shoot commercials or whatever, you're required by law to be certified by the FAA. The test, it's a very lengthy test. It's about 60 questions. It's actually 60 questions, and it covers many different subjects from weather patterns to airspace classes. So you really need to take it seriously and you have to study. But if you study, you'll pass. It's a lot of information. So sometimes it can be a little difficult for people to just read a book or read one of the study guides and memorize everything. So what I did is I signed up for an online class with Drone Pilot Ground School. And let me tell you, they really made a difference. They have multiple videos with all the different subjects that you need to learn for the test. And every single video is very well explained. It has graphics and the instructor, you can tell that he's very knowledgeable and he knows what he's talking about. And he's really good at explaining sometimes very difficult concepts for somebody who is not familiar with basic aviation concepts. Like myself, I had no idea anything. I didn't know anything about airspace classes or weather patterns or stuff like that. So one of the things that I really like about this class is that at the end of each video there's a quiz. So if you take the quiz and you're doing well in the quizzes, you can tell and you can become more confident that you're actually learning the concepts that you'll need to know for the test. Also, each video has a transcription of the video. So if you rather, instead of just watching the video, if you rather just kind of like reading the transcripts and you learn that way better, you can also do that. And if you watch the video and there's, you don't want to rewatch the whole thing, but there's a small concepts or certain parts that you want to review, you can go back to the transcript and read it back over and relearn it until you understand it. That's what I did multiple times. The structure that they have, I found it very useful, and I found it that after I watched a video and I took the quiz, I felt confident that I was not just watching and just watching videos without learning, but I was actually learning the concepts, and I knew that I was gonna do well on the test. I think what makes a difference, what really made a difference for me, is that at the end they have this practice test, and I believe they have 6 different tests that you can take multiple times, and they're very, very similar. I would say they're like 90% similar to the actual test. So if you take these practice tests and you do well in them, you know for sure that you're gonna pass the test. The only thing to keep in mind is that some of the questions that I saw on the actual test, I never saw on the practice tests. As I said, 90% of it was, even some of the questions were exactly the same. The way they were phrased, they were very, very similar. But there's that 10% of questions that I was like, I have no idea what this is, and I've never seen that before. So if you take the practice test and you do well in the practice test, you have 85%, 90% or 100% in this test, there's no doubt about it that you will do well in the actual test. Some of the questions that I saw on the actual test, though, they were phrased a little different, and all the questions are multiple answer questions. So some of the questions were phrased a little different, and the answers were a little different too. So I wouldn't memorize the answers in terms of like the order of the answers of if question 1, the answer is number 3. So I would really try to understand the concepts and understand why certain answers are the correct answers. But if you go through all the lessons, if you take the quizzes, and then if you take the practice test multiple times, I have no doubt that you will pass the test as well. At the beginning I was a little overwhelmed, and I think that a lot of people get a little overwhelmed because of the amount of material that you have to study for it. But these online lessons, they break all the concepts down very nicely, so it's very easy to digest and it's very easy to understand. So they don't pay me or anything. I'm just telling you my experience, and it might be useful for somebody else out there who is thinking about taking the test or is about to take the test and it has the money to invest into this lesson. into this online class. I think the cost of it is about $299 or $300, something like that. The actual test is $150 that you have to pay, so it comes out to like $450. It's a little pricey, but if you're thinking about flying your drone commercially, it's definitely an investment. It's definitely something that you have to do. And if you fail the test, you'll be able to take it again, but you'll have to pay $150 again. So you might as well sign up for this class or something similar that you find out there online. I know there's 2 or 3 different online websites that I found with classes, with lessons in preparation for the test, but based on reviews and based on other videos that I watched, I decided to go with Drone Pilot Grant School, and I have no regrets. I think they did a fantastic job. The videos are very well done. The instructor is knowledgeable, and as I said before, the practice tests really are a game changer. They really make you feel comfortable for the test, and they really look similar to the actual test. It's like 90% of the questions are even word by word. They're exactly like the test. If you pass the practice tests, you will pass the actual test. Here's my little temporary airman certificate. So I'm still waiting for my actual ID. I think it takes maybe like a month or so, I'm not sure. So yeah, I passed the test. You can do it too. Check them out. Their website, I mean, if you Google Drone Pilot Ground School, you'll find it right away. And look at reviews, you know, I know there's other people who've done it, who've used them. And if you use them, I don't think you'll have any regrets. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this information is valuable. If you like the video, like it, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video.